It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from, and this is a new brewery for me. I'm really excited. This is Cold Shelter Brewing Company, and this is their pale ale at 5% ABV. It's called Wayfinder. Never had a beer from Cold Shelter Brew Co before. They are brewed by Cold Shelter Brew Co at Dark Elements Brew Co. Oh, this is from Caerphilly. Ah, right, okay, so this is a bit like you own a brewery, Dark Element own a brewery, and then this is a sub-brand. Maybe they rent a fermenter for a month. Maybe they rent some brew kit for the day, and then they rent a fermenter for the month. So these guys go in, Cold Shelter Brew Co, brew their own beer, and at Dark Element in Caerphilly in South Wales, and then bang, they sell it around the world. It just helps with costs, I suppose. It helps with Dark Element. I've still not had a Dark Element Brew Co beer, by the way. I'll be drinking a Cold Shelter Brew Co beer before a Dark Element beer. The beer was kindly sent to me by Stephen Claxon. Thank you very much, Stephen Claxon. He's also sent me a Dark Element beer, so I will be trying one soon. All the way from York. These beers come from Trembling Madness. Another fantastic bottle shop. I will get up there. I will get up to Dark Element in Caerphilly one day. So beer in the glass, then we got a 4-finger white head. Good levels of carbonation, big haze going on. Big haze, big head on the beer. There's a look at it. So, can we get an aroma through this massive head on the beer? Oh yes we can. Oh yes we can. And they are, well, I'm about to say they're producing excellent pale ale. The aroma certainly smells that way. That aroma is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. For a pale ale, New England style. Passion fruit, mango, tin pineapple, touch of grapefruit. I'm going to call it, dare I say it, I'm going to call it a classic kind of New England IPA now. Classic New England pale ale style beer that is produced all over the world. Lots and lots of breweries producing this style of beer. So, let's dive into this one then. Cheers, everybody. Really good. I think I just needed to taste the beer though, just to clarify one thing. It hasn't, of course, it's not past my eyes here that we have a big head on the beer. It created this big head when we poured the beer. It didn't pass me by, trust me. I just like to try the beers these days before I make an initial comment. So, it's a highly carbonated beer. Carbonated beer. The beer doesn't have an infection. It doesn't have an infection, but it's highly carbonated. That could have mean one or two things. That could have mean that the beer carried on slightly fermenting out in the can a little bit more, mopping up any of those residual sugars. That's probably the likely thing. because there's no infection in this beer. It's really good beer. It's really good beer. It's just a bit like a rough penny. Is that the term? It's a bit rough around the edges. Oh. You just heard that carbonation coming back. It's just a little bit too overcarbonated. But other than that, the beer is absolutely fantastic. Some people like their beer with a lot of carbonation anyway, so who am I to... But you'll probably see, even if I pour the beer slowly, the beer will want to carry on creating that. That head. I just wanted to get there was a little bit of did you see that last little bit of, rewind the video if you like, that last drop of beer going into the glass was almost as if it was like hop concentrate going in. It's just the fact that gravity drags everything down to the bottom of the can, and then you're getting all of that flavour into the glass of beer. So, they're a brewing company that this brewing company now can do two things. They can do two things. They can go down the road of producing kind of verdant, Cloudwater style, incredible IPAs and pale ales, or they can initially produce these beers. And I mentioned this, I did the salt. I'll bring it up. I mentioned Dark Elements in a video recently where it was Salt Beer Factory, Salt Beer Company, whatever you want to call them, and they started off. Huckerback was terrific, fantastic beers in the supermarket, really hitting a nail on the head. Even their single hop beers and Asda at the moment are still very good. But then they went and brought out a hooch beer. They brought out a beer, collaborated with hooch, and it kind of undermines everything that Salt did up until that point. It just left a lot of people with sore, like disappointments and so. And I can understand why Salt Beer Factory would want to do that, is to sell more beer and create a bit of a storm. You can pick that beer up in Morrison's if you want. But I think, like with Dark Element now and this brewing company now, this Cold Shelter Brew Co., I think you have to make a really early decision on what direction you want to go in. You either want to go down the verdant, Cloudwater, Track, they're the other ones, Track Brewing Company, of high quality beer and great reputation for high quality beer. When you pick up a beer from Verdant or Track or Cloudwater, you know you're getting great beer. It's almost guaranteed. Or you can go down that road of kind of like middle road supermarket, kind of like Salt. What's that I'm thinking? What's that? Vocation, they're the ones. I was thinking VVV. Salt Vocation, where it's all a bit kind of like it's okay-ish. So Salt Huckerback is probably half decent, but you never know what you're quite getting. You never quite know what you're getting from a supermarket beer. So it's over to the boys then at Dark Elements and Cold Shelter Brew Co. which direction they want to take their companies. High quality or kind of meddling supermarket kind of half-hearted beer, as I like to call it these days. I think personally, because we have Tiny Rebel. Tiny Rebel are bringing out all their different sherbet, raspberry plum lagers or whatever they're doing. You know, they're doing some bonkers stuff down at Tiny Rebel. We've already got that in Wales. We don't need another one of those. We need someone like Polly's, I suppose, in North Wales. Polly's Brew Co. smashing out the park, producing terrific beer. Can Dark Elements have that same kind of sort of quality? I'd like to think so. Rating for Cold Shelter Brew Co. Brewed at Dark Elements. They must be friends. Wayfinder Pale Ale. It's really good. It's a really good, well, it's my first beer from Cold Shelter Brew Co. It's a really good first effort from them. Slightly overcarbonated. The beer settled down over the time I was drinking it. I'm going to say on this occasion, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.